And welcome, everybody. Welcome, fellow patriots. Welcome, fellow deplorables. Welcome, fellow dregs to society. Welcome, all you rock dwellers. Welcome, all you hateful people who celebrate the president. Welcome, and you're always welcome here, and that's at the Conservative Commandos radio show. I'm Rick Trader, and I'm coming to you from the studios of the Conservative Commandos radio network, and joining me today as my co-host is the patriot from the battle-born state, the silver state of Nevada. Say Nevada. They're very, very particular about it out there. And that is my dear friend, Sharron Angle. Sharron, welcome to Conservative Commandos radio show. And happy Thanksgiving to you and to all your family.
Thank you, Rick, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well. You know, it's great. This is a national holiday that's only celebrated in the United States. I don't think there's any other country that celebrates a Thanksgiving Day. And it's interesting to me how much people have forgotten about the history and why we do celebrate Thanksgiving. Who are we thankful to and why? It's an interesting thing. We have a tradition at my house. We watch Squanto, A Warrior Tale, and it's about the Native American Squanto. He was a Patuxet who was actually kidnapped from his home there on the New England shores and transported across the ocean to England, where he was captive and a slave until he escaped. And all of that sounds like really bad news until you know that God had a purpose. And that's really who we're thankful to on Thanksgiving. God had a purpose for Squanto. Squanto escaped to a monastery where he embraced the Christian religion, where he learned the English language, and where he was prepared to be the welcoming committee on the shores of Plymouth when the Pilgrims came. So he not only escaped, learned the language, and embraced Christianity, gave up his animosity toward his captors, realizing that they meant it for bad, but God meant it for good. And he then was he got a passage back on another ship going back to the New World. And at the time when the Pilgrims landed, he recognized them. He was able to avert warfare between them and the natives, and was able to actually set up a peaceful time that lasted over 100 years.
Wow.
Peace for them, and really it gave the fledgling Americans an opportunity to really get grounded, and that was the reason for the first Thanksgiving was they would have starved to death had not Squanto and the Patuxet the other Native Americans there on those shores not helped them to understand how to plant corn and different hunting skills, things that turkey, for instance,
things that save their
Native
lives.
American, things that save their lives, and a lot of the things that we celebrate with on Thanksgiving harken back to that time. So why do we eat Thanksgiving turkey? Well, because Squanto and his friends introduced the turkey to the new American population that was that had come seeking religious freedom, and they did write that in their compact, and then they became the forefathers to those founding fathers who gave us the First Amendment, which guarantees our freedom of religion in that First Amendment, our freedom of speech, our Second Amendment, the freedom to keep and bear arms, which they all had to do because they were responsible for protecting their own families. They didn't have a government that was going to come in and protect them. Like the socialists of our time think that governments are supposed to protect people. No, the founders knew that governments don't really do that on a wide-scale effort. They might protect us from foreign enemies, but by and large, you're responsible to protect your own family. And that's why they gave us the Second Amendment.
Well, Sharron, I have made your family tradition one of my traditions also by watching Squanto. And a couple of things about that because Squanto spent time in England, he knew English. So when the settlers landed on Plymouth Rock, they were able to communicate with him. He was able to make friendships with them. And as you said, that friendship lasted for over 100 years. But we have a divine intervention, a little piece of divine intervention there, that because of Squanto and his time that he didn't spend in England and the time that he spent at the monastery, he became very friendly with the monks. The monks helped him to get back to the New World. And he was there basically to greet the pilgrims when they landed on Plymouth Rock and saved their lives with his help. Well, it is Thanksgiving, and there is another tradition that happens in Washington, D.C., and, there's a lot of talk about pardon these days in Washington, Sharron, and President Trump did pardon a couple of real turkeys.
Yes, he did. He pardoned Butter, who's a 47-pound turkey. That's a big turkey.
Wow, that's a big turkey.
That was raised in North Carolina, and he received that pardon, but he also pardoned his companion, Bread. So Bread and Butter and they were specially raised by Willie Jackson to remain calm under condition, which will be very important because they're already received subpoenas to appear in Adam Schiff's basement on Thursday. That's a joke, of course. I don't think Adam Schiff actually subpoenaed Bread and Butter, but it's funny and
there had to be a quid pro quo there, Sharron,
Well, there was a trade-off, I guess. I don't know what that was. He says, here's what Trump said about it. He says, it seems the Democrats are accusing me of being too soft on turkey. And then he turns to the birds and he says, but Bread and Butter, I should note that unlike previous witnesses, you and I have actually met, and that's very unusual. So he's saying that most of the impeachment hearing folks he's never even met, but he's met Bread and Butter. So if Schiff calls him, at least he'll have that in his favor.
Right.
So
well, Sharron, let's. Yeah, I'm sorry.
President Trump was also very thankful to the armed forces and their families on Thanksgiving for their sacrifices. And here's what he said: "We're forever thankful," and I want to join him with that, and I know you do too, Rick.
Absolutely.
We're forever thankful for those who wear our nation's uniform and the families who support them. It could never be the same without those great families. Because of their selfless service, millions of our fellow Americans are celebrating another wonderful Thanksgiving in safety and peace. And as we gather this week with loved ones across our beautiful land, we give thanks to God for the many gifts that He has bestowed on us. I say amen. Amen.
Amen.
And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for a president who understands we're thankful for God on Thanksgiving.
Yes. Sharron, you took the words right out of my mouth. You really did. Thank God we have a president who recognizes that the basis of this country is our Lord and Savior. And you are listening and watching the Conservative Commandos radio show with Sharron Angle and yours truly, Rick Trader. Today's show is brought to you by the First Amendment, protected by the Second. On the other side of this break, Sharron will tell you who our guests are for the day. So don't go away. Avoid disappointment and future regret. We'll be right back.
Have you been leasing a property for your business or renting storage space? Are you tired of paying rent year after year? Call the experts at General Steel to own a building at up to 30% off now.
I'd been renting a building and paying someone else's mortgage, but General Steel showed me how I could own a space tailored to the needs of my business and for less than renting.
Call General Steel now at the number on your screen for our current building specials and to price your metal building system today.
My building's the dream I've had since finishing my house 14 years ago. I've been using it for a garage, workshop, and storage area for my tools and equipment, and I can't believe how great it turned out.
The economy is improving and the price of steel is expected to rise. Stop waiting. It could cost you thousands. Call General Steel now to see how you can own for less than you thought. Stop waiting to start your business or expand your operation. Call General Steel now.
Call 877-484-7002.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 888-431-0562. That's 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a new car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business, according to The Secret War, a shocking new research report. I just read it. And folks, I was amazed to learn why banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get The Secret War free. Just call the number on the screen, no charge, from the folks at Swiss America. And get this, did you know simply spending cash today may be enough to have you branded as a potential criminal? That's right. The new war on cash is really a war against all freedom-loving Americans. The Secret War is yours free, so call the number on the screen and you can tell them Pat Boone gave you the number.
And once again, we want to welcome you back to the Conservative Commandos radio show. I'm Rick Trader. My co-host is Sharron Angle. And Sharron, as I always say, the hallmark of our show is the guests that honor us by coming on our show. And if you would have someone you recommend as a guest here on Conservative Commandos, it's easy to do. Send an email to me. It's rick@conservativecommandosradioshow.com. rick@conservativecommandosradioshow.com. Sharron, who will we be speaking with today?
Well, we're going to have a longtime friend of ours, Curtis Houck, who's currently serving as the managing editor of Newsbusters, and he's been a news analyst with the Media Research Center's News Analysis Division for almost 2 years. He's going to give us a rundown on the alphabet media and their obsession, if you will, with Trump and the impeachment and how they just can't seem to give it up. Our second guest is Chuck Kirkpatrick, who's the founder and CEO of TrumpVote.online, which is an advisory ballot technology platform designed to give conservatives a voice in the governance process. He's going to talk to us about whether our vote is really cast, and if after it's cast, does it get counted? So that will be an interesting talk with Chuck Kirkpatrick. And our final guest is Ann E.W. Stone. She's the ex-wife of Roger Stone, but more importantly, she has been active in politics since the age of 12, and she worked in over 500 campaigns. So she is an active Facebook person and Twitter person, and if you have any contact with Anne, you'll find out that she picks out some of the best articles and really has her finger on the pulse of Washington, D.C. and what goes on. She's going to give us a little insight into how to handle your liberal relatives at the Thanksgiving table. So stay tuned.
You mean other than hit them with a drumstick? Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Well, Sharron, there's some political news coming out of Barack Obama. You know, Barack Obama has been out there kind of like pushing Deval Patrick. Deval Patrick, the former governor of Massachusetts, who is another Obama clone, I will call him. But apparently Deval's not doing too well in the polls. He's not doing too well raising money. In fact, at a recent rally in Georgia, he had to cancel it because only 2 people showed up, and they were kind of coerced to do so. But there is a new name. There is a new name out there that maybe Barack Obama is going to float as a potential Democrat candidate to go up against Donald Trump.
Well, and I don't blame him. You know, the folks that they've got, they can't even raise a good crowd for a debate anymore. And like you said, they have these candidates that can't raise a crowd even to come and see them do their announcements. So it's pretty sad over on that side. So I could see why he might be looking far and wide. But, you know, last year on our program, we had one of our favorites, Dr. Gerard Lamero. He's a prognosticator. And he said, you know, I think that the Democrat nominee will actually be Michelle Obama.
That's right.
And we haven't heard her name bandied around at all. And I thought, well, maybe Gerard got it wrong this time. But guess what? Tucker Carlson is now convinced that Michelle Obama is going to be running for the White House. And he says that last week the former First Lady issued a statement that she's not interested in being president. But that's what she's claimed. There are signs. Yeah, there are signs that it's really not true. And one of the signs is that Obama hasn't endorsed Joe Biden. That's one of the signs. And if he had, the race would be over. That would just kind of seal it for Joe Biden, and we wouldn't be talking about anybody else. But he's not. Nope. He's not endorsing him. He also says he maybe has other plans, and that's the reason he hasn't endorsed him. Obama is also, he's a presidential memoir was supposed to come out this year, and now its release has been delayed until the middle of the Democrat primaries. In other words, at exactly the moment when Democrats will be thinking deeply about how to beat Trump, America will be talking about the Obamas. And maybe it's not a coincidence that that's when it's time for release, because Michelle Obama just released another book last week, one that will require her to be on the road and talk to crowds. So
very interesting. You know, you can always tell, Sharron, you can always tell when somebody's going to run for office, and that's when they release their book. If they're releasing a book right before an election, that is clue one positive. They're a candidate. They're running. They want to run.
Well, and here's this last thing, and I think this backs up what Gerard Lamero said to us, because we said, Michelle Obama? Really? Why, Gerard?
Yeah.
And this was the reason he gave as well. The Democrat Party is ripping itself apart over race and gender and class. Michelle Obama, let's be honest, is one of the only people who could unite the parties warring factions. So
Wow.
those are the reasons he gives, and I just thought that was very interesting that now we've been saying it for over a year because of our friend Dr. Gerard Lamero, but here it comes.
Hey, Sharron, let's talk about race. Donald Trump is making big inroads into the black community.
Yes.
And how possibly could the Democrats reclaim that?
Michelle Obama.
Running somebody like Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Sharron, there's something I wanted to talk about. Over the years, millions of Christians, including myself, have mobilized to fight for Chick-fil-A. They defeated the company. They defended the company from the militant mob of the LGBTQ crowd, activists and supporters of mainstream media and the Democrat Party. Sharron, when Chick-fil-A was under attack by the gay rights community, by the left, I came on Conservative Commandos and I encouraged our listeners to support them. And what I said I was going to do, I was going to go to Chick-fil-A and I was going to buy coupons and I was going to give these coupons out, the vouchers, credit cards, whatever you want to call them, to friends and family. So I did. But this year I will not be doing that, and I'll tell you why. Because recently things are changing at Chick-fil-A. I don't know if it was the death of the founder, Dan Cathy, but they have pulled their support. Chick-fil-A, have pulled their support from the Salvation Army. They have pulled their support from the Federation of Christian Athletes. And they're now supporting groups like the Southern Poverty Law Center. Now remember what the Southern Poverty Law Center represents. A supporter of the Southern Poverty Law Center in 2012, a domestic terrorist, Floyd Corkin, stormed the headquarters of the Family Research Council armed with a semi-automatic pistol, 100 rounds of ammunition, and 15 Chick-fil-A sandwiches. And he said, I wanted to kill the people in the building and then smear a Chick-fil-A sandwich in their face. That's what this guy, Floyd Corkin, said at the time. So over the time, since the death of the founder, there has been a new individual, a guy by the name of Rodney Bullard. He is their chief of their director of the Chick-fil-A Foundation. He's an open supporter of the Clintons and the Obamas. He gave to Hillary Clinton. He gave money to Barack Obama, and he's supporting now, as I said, the Southern Poverty Law Center, a group that this terrorist who went into the Family Research Council, hell-bent on killing people and smearing their faces with Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Now, you might wonder why Chick-fil-A has reversed course. And could it be because the founder is gone, the heart and soul of that company is gone? And earlier this year, airports in Buffalo, New York, and San Antonio blocked Chick-fil-A restaurants from opening sites because of the company's gay rights records. So here we have a great company, a Christian company, who has given in to the whims of this very small minority, the LGBTQRST crowd. And now they pulled their support from the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army, all the good the Salvation Army has done for everyone. So, that money, Sharron, that money that I would use to buy coupons and give out to my friends and family from Chick-fil-A the holiday season. Well, this year I'm going to take that money and not buy those coupons, but I'm going to take that money and donate it to, guess who? The Salvation Army and the Federation of Christian Athletes. I'm asking all our listeners and viewers to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's a shame when we have to go against a company like Chick-fil-A. But Chick-fil-A we knew before is not the Chick-fil-A that we know now. So, Sharron, I don't know. I think we have to use our economic power. We as conservatives, we Christians, we patriots must use our economic power just like the gay anti-Christian community does.
Well, I'm going to certainly go check it out and see. You know, they always put scripture on their wrappers of their different products. There was scripture reference there. I wonder if they've taken that off as well. We'll have to...
Well, Bill Donahue from the Catholic League has said he expects them to start opening on Sunday. And, you know, they were always noted for being closed on Sunday. He said within a year they're going to be opening on Sunday. Hey, Sharron, sorry, went a little long on that, but I thought it was important to get out there. But this is the Conservative Commandos radio show with Sharron Angle and yours truly, Rick Trader, coming to you from the studios of the Conservative Commandos radio network. On the other side, we're going to be speaking with Curtis Houck. He's the managing editor at Newsbusters, and we're going to discuss an article that he wrote, ABC, NBC, still celebrating, quote, the serious blow to the Trump White House. Don't go away, Sharron and I will be right back with Curtis.
Have you been leasing a property for your business or renting storage space? Are you tired of paying rent year after year? Call the experts at General Steel to own a building at up to 30% off now.
I'd been renting a building and paying someone else's mortgage, but General Steel showed me how I could own a space tailored to the needs of my business and for less than renting.
Call General Steel now at the number on your screen for our current building specials and to price your metal building system today.
My building's the dream I've had since finishing my house 14 years ago. I've been using it for a garage, workshop, and storage area for my tools and equipment, and I can't believe how great it turned out.
The economy is improving and the price of steel is expected to rise. Stop waiting. It could cost you thousands. Call General Steel now to see how you can own for less than you thought. Stop waiting to start your business or expand your operation. Call General Steel now.
Call 877-484-7002.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 888-431-0562. That's 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a new car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business, according to The Secret War, a shocking new research report. I just read it. And folks, I was amazed to learn why banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get The Secret War free. Just call the number on the screen, no charge, from the folks at Swiss America. And get this, did you know simply spending cash today may be enough to have you branded as a potential criminal? That's right. The new war on cash is really a war against all freedom-loving Americans. The Secret War is yours free, so call the number on the screen and you can tell them Pat Boone gave you the number.
AM/FM 24/7 Roku channel broadcasts all of our shows on demand. To ensure reliability, we store and stream our content on the same servers as Netflix and Amazon. Our Roku channel is free to use, and anyone owning one of the more than 10 million Roku devices can watch our channel at no cost whatsoever. If you have a television show or are thinking about producing a show, you can be a part of AM/FM 24/7's Roku channel. Watch our great shows on your Roku device. It's free and more reliable than cable TV. Are you stuck with a timeshare? Did you attend the presentation and were seduced and enticed into buying that great vacation and investment? Now you're in the terrible position of trying to figure out a way to get out of that mess. You're not alone. For over 15 years, BuyYourTimeshare.com has been helping people like yourself get out of timeshare ownership. The fact is, there is no resale market. Unscrupulous telemarketers call you and say they have buyers waiting, and the next thing that happens is you give them hundreds of dollars for an ad, and you'll never hear from them again. Another fact is that an identical timeshare to yours is being offered on eBay for $1, and no one is buying it. If you want out of your timeshare, I urge you to go to BuyYourTimeshare.com or call them at 877-94-HELP-ME. That number again is 877-94-HELP-ME. BuyYourTimeshare.com. That's BuyYourTimeshare.com. 877-94-HELP-ME.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Here's why. Dish has the nation's lowest TV price, along with an award-winning DVR that can skip commercials, record 8 shows at once, and get access to thousands of movies at your fingertips. Cable simply can't even compare. So the smart choice is to cut the cable and get Dish. Plus, you get all these great TV features, free HD DVR upgrade, free installation, and free movie channels. Say goodbye to cable and get more with Dish TV. 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. As an added bonus, you can switch to Dish now and receive a $50 Visa gift card. So call now and get Dish TV. Call 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. That's 877-290-7764. Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, monthly equipment fees, and other restrictions apply. Promotion can change at any time.
And once again, welcome back to the Conservative Commandos radio show with Sharron Engel and yours truly, Rick Trader, for rebroadcast. Check out our website, CCRShow.com. That's CCRShow.com. You'll find links to our latest TV show there, our radio show there. You can also share them with your friends. And with that, Sharron, we do have the first guest of the day with us, and the honor of the introduction is all yours.
Well, it's always an honor for me to introduce our longtime friend, Curtis Houck, currently who serves as the managing editor of Newsbusters after almost 2 years as a news analyst at the Media Research Center News Analyst Division. His work has been featured on various Fox News channel programs, Breitbart, The Daily Caller, Drudge Report, Fox Nation, Mark Levin's show, Mediate, Red State, The Rush Limbaugh Show, townhall.com, Washington Examiner, and Washington Free Beacon. I guess we could say that Curtis Houck is everywhere. Curtis, welcome back to the Conservative Commandos radio show.
Hey there, Sharon.
Hey, Curtis, we read an article. ABC, NBC still celebrating serious blow to Trump White House stonewalling. Okay. I'll bite. Why?
Right.
Why?
Right. Well, I mean, obviously, while there's, the news typically pivots in large respects the week of Thanksgiving to, weekend Thanksgiving travel and stories of people being thankful for, their health, and family. ABC, NBC, and CBS the night before were still cramming in time to talk about the impeachment effort against President Trump, because I guess that's something that they are thankful for this Thanksgiving, that the president that they don't like, they're trying to throw out of office. So every opportunity they get to find something to latch onto, they're going to do that, I guess, and spend time talking about it, despite the fact that people don't care about impeachment, even if they're for impeachment. That's what CBS this morning found out on Tuesday morning. They found that yeah, I mean, even among Democrat voters who don't like the president, they've noticed that some of them don't even bring up impeachment when they start talking about 2020. Imagine that.
Imagine that. Well, it seems like a loser. You'd think, especially after the polling they've done. I mean, I've seen polls that say that Democrats are as sick of it as Republicans, that nobody really wants to talk about, that this is not news, and that they really don't want to go forward. In fact, I think there are a couple of the candidates themselves for president, but certainly there are candidates out there on the down ticket ballot that are saying, you know, let's quit talking about this. My constituents are not going to vote for this. This is just a loser all the way around. So why do they continue to just beat this dead horse?
Well, the reality is that, yes, you know, whether it's Pennsylvania or Virginia or California, Democrats that are in their congressional Democrats that are in their first term spent all of last year, 2018, saying, no, we're not running for impeachment. We want to run to, you know, do stuff, you know, healthcare and whatever else, pretty much anything but impeachment. They didn't want to talk about impeachment, that I'm not elected to impeach the president. Well, basically, the squad and the progressive side of the Democratic Party and House Republicans, or House Democrats, excuse me, have pushed the issue enough that, yes, this is now what they're talking about. And for some of these Democrats, they've given up the ghost and given away the game that, yes, this is what they're here to do the whole time anyway to begin with. You know, there are a number of so-called moderate Democrats who wouldn't go on MSNBC or in the MSNBC primetime far-left cable shows, and now they are because, oh, well, it's cool now to talk about the president, talk about impeachment. But now we're kind of coming back to that point where Republican challengers are making themselves known. People are deciding to run. People are starting to raise money, just like the presidential campaigns are gearing up, and they're realizing that, yeah, maybe this is, you know, they don't have much of a record to show because, you know, people keep talking about the USMCA, the new NAFTA. That's not going anywhere in Congress. And the refrain we kept hearing was House Democrats will be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. And, you know, so far it's not going so good, Sharron. It's not going well for them. They're showing that they cannot do both at the same time.
So how is this a serious blow to the White House's efforts to stonewall this impeachment investigation? You know, it seems like the people are with the president, so bring it on.
Right, with Don McGahn, yeah, in that case that they're celebrating it, yeah, I mean, it's really a matter of what are they going to do with this, because they want to impeach this president as quickly as possible, but by doing that, they have to wait and have more hearings featuring all these Trump officials that are will have to supposedly be forced to testify. So that becomes a question. That becomes a problem for them. Although the news media, they represent more of the squad base than the moderate base, or people that might have voted for House Democrats after voting for the president in 2016. Those members, yeah, they're kind of stuck now. And they're kind of have to reap what they sow, I guess, with their base, the resistance base that is so rabidly for this. I mean, they're kind of screwed now.
Well, you name an Obama official, this Neil Katyal, and he seems to have his own little agenda running here as well. Is that true?
Right. Yeah, exactly, and that's why, yeah, on the Today Show, Rich Lowry had to have Claire McCaskill, I believe, facing off against him regarding impeachment in his book, promoting American nationalism, whereas when Neil Katyal was on, he got to be on by himself to talk about things. And his argument about why the president should be impeached and thrown out of office, despite it being so close to presidential election, is because what this president did is so egregious, it's like cheating on a game of Monopoly. Right. You don't let the person keep playing Monopoly or play another game of Monopoly if they're cheating. And supposedly that's what this president was doing. And that's the problem. Like, he goes beyond the point, the fact, you know, the acknowledgement that some people will have, which is they don't like the way the president conducted himself on that call, but they don't think it was impeachable.
Well, that is just hilarious. I haven't heard that one yet. Bribery, extortion, quid
cheating
pro
on
quo,
board games.
But now we're cheating on board games. This is really the last straw, I guess. Wow. And they are. You said in another article that you wrote that the Washington Post, they seem to be obsessing over Trump. The whole Democrat Party seems to be obsessing. It's curious to me how they can even think about the coming up elections. There's just no focus here, except this.
Yeah, well, my life advice for a lot of these people is get a hobby, get some hobbies that don't involve Trump.
Not board games, not board games.
Yeah, like Trump will be president on Black Friday, guys. Trump is still going to be president at Christmas. It's like, can't you just for one day just like forget about Trump? Just, I know at least, during the Obama years, I was, Christmas and Thanksgiving were still wonderful, even though Obama was president. It's not a time to kvetch about stuff, But now we're in this world where, you do argue with your family members. You do argue. The news media, AP suggests yesterday that there be a separate room at a Thanksgiving gathering where a sober, calm family member can serve as the moderator of any debate and discussion between the two. I mean, really, again, it's very simple, folks. It's get some hobbies. Just take a deep breath, put Trump away, go read a book, go read something else, or go off the grid for a day. Trust me, the world will not end.
If you go off the grid. Well, it may end, though, if you play Monopoly on Thanksgiving. That's an interesting takeaway from these guys on the left. But we have to go to a break now, Curtis. We are coming to you from the Conservative Commando Radio Network studios and around the world on the internet with TalkStream Live, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, American Political Radio, Leading Edge Radio Network, and AM/FM 24/7. And now you can watch us on the AUN TV network in Northern California, specifically Pelosi Country, San Francisco, and Sacramento. I'm Sharron Engel. I'm co-hosting with Rick Trader today, and we've been talking with Curtis Houck of Newsbusters and his article, ABC, NBC Still Celebrating Serious Blow to Trump, White House Stonewalling. We'll be right back after these messages.
AM/FM 24/7 Roku channel broadcasts all of our shows on demand. To ensure reliability, we store and stream our content on the same servers as Netflix and Amazon. Our Roku channel is free to use, and anyone owning one of the more than 10 million Roku devices can watch our channel at no cost whatsoever. If you have a television show or are thinking about producing a show, you can be a part of AM/FM 24/7's Roku channel. Watch our great shows on your Roku device. It's free and more reliable than cable TV. Are you stuck with a timeshare? Did you attend the presentation and were seduced and enticed into buying that great vacation and investment? Now you're in the terrible position of trying to figure out a way to get out of that mess. You're not alone. For over 15 years, BuyYourTimeshare.com has been helping people like yourself get out of timeshare ownership. The fact is there is no resale market. Unscrupulous telemarketers call you and say they have buyers waiting, and the next thing that happens is you give them hundreds of dollars for an ad, and you'll never hear from them again. Another fact is that an identical timeshare to yours is being offered on eBay for $1, and no one is buying it. If you want out of your timeshare, I urge you to go to BuyYourTimeshare.com or call them at 877-94-HELP-ME. That number again is 877-94-HELP-ME. BuyYourTimeshare.com. That's BuyYourTimeshare.com. 877-94-HELP-ME.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Here's why. Dish has the nation's lowest TV price, along with an award-winning DVR that can skip commercials, record 8 shows at once, and get access to thousands of movies at your fingertips. Cable simply can't even compare. So the smart choice is to cut the cable and get Dish. Plus, you get all these great TV features, free HD DVR upgrade, free installation, and free movie channels. Say goodbye to cable and get more with Dish TV. 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. As an added bonus, you can switch to Dish now and receive a $50 Visa gift card. So call now and get Dish TV. Call 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. That's 877-290-7764. Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, monthly equipment fees, and other restrictions apply. Promotion can change at any time.
And welcome back. Welcome back to the Conservative Commandos radio show with Sharron Engel and yours truly, Rick Trader. I want to give a shout out to the folks who listen to us on radio stations in Jacksonville, Tampa, and the Villages, Florida, Las Vegas and Reno, Macon, Georgia, Lancaster and Pittsburgh, Boulder and Colorado Springs, Milwaukee, Long Beach, California, Arlington, Virginia, and Washington, D.C., as well as seen as part of the AUN television network in Northern California. Our guest this segment is Curtis Houck. He's the managing director of Newsbusters, and I don't know anybody that does a better job than Newsbusters at tracking what the ABCs, NBCs, CBSs, CNNs, and all the other alphabet networks do. Curtis, thank you for holding through that break. We really do appreciate your time.
No problem.
Curtis, in your article, ABC, NBC, still celebrating, quote, serious blow to Trump White House stonewalling. You know, in your article, Curtis, you talk about George Stephanopoulos, and Stephanopoulos says, not above the law, the White House takes a blow in court overnight trying to block key sides from appearing in a hearing. A judge now orders former White House Director Don McGahn to testify in a scathing judgment. Curtis, it looks like they are so incensed on impeaching President Trump. They will take any bit of seemingly positive news for their side and try to shove it down the throats of the American people. Am I seeing this right, Curtis?
That would work. Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, they're taking any kind of possible opening and trying to be their own spokespeople because Adam Schiff isn't going to be very good at that. So yeah, they're kind of stuck, you know, trying to push the ball across the finish line, even though the finish line is still really, 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 really far away for them. That it's just not going to happen. What they're going to try and do is tar this president, continue to paint him as an illegitimate president. So then at the end of the day, you know, there's really nothing left in terms of, you know, his credibility when they think back to this president, that they think his Supreme Court justices and tax cuts and wiping out ISIS, all of that was clouded by secrecy, that he was somehow a Russian agent, is the Malcolm Nances of the world try to tell you, and engage in some real xenophobia by suggesting that the fact that he married a foreigner when he married Ivana Trump, that he was already a foreign agent by doing that, which I got nothing for you other than that's the real xenophobia. That's real, xenophobia, racism that the left claims to subscribe to people on the right. That's going on out there. But again, you know, the idea that we keep coming back to this problem of the president is either this evil psychopath or he's the dumbest person to ever live.
Well, and
depending on the day, it keeps going back and forth.
And it, depending upon the day, it is depending on the day will determine which scathing bombshell horrible thing for the White House this is. It's either going to be Russia or the Ukraine, or it's going to be Kavanaugh. I mean, every little thing in their book seems to be a cliff that the president is about to go over. But he hasn't
the walls
gone
are
over
closing
any
in.
cliffs yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woe is me, the sky is falling, but the sky has never even come close to falling. Curtis, I wanted to discuss with you, another article coming out of Newsbusters written by a colleague of yours, Tim Graham. And Sharron alluded to it a little bit about the Washington Post main Twitter page shows how the Washington Post is obsessed over Trump. One day during the week, the Post main Twitter page posted 183 tweets, including retweets. 70 of those, 38%, focused on impeachment. Another 18% were about Trump and his administration. So it's not only the news media, it's not only the news broadcast media that's obsessed with Donald Trump, it's also the print media, at least as far as the Washington Post. Would I be seeing this correctly?
Yeah, I mean, in their print edition, they only have so many pages devoted to impeachment, which is kind of welcoming to see like stories about Hong Kong on the front page of the Post above the fold. But when it comes to their Twitter feed and their online presence and their placement on their website, they are all in on impeachment or negative storylines, just like CNN and the rest. So this was a study that we had been kind of kicking around, thinking about their Twitter feed and the newspapers between Tim Graham and Brent Bozell and others, and there was an idea that maybe there is something to that. So what Tim did is he took one day, and he picked a high traffic day, such as last Thursday, the 21st. To really kind of look at this. And so what he found was, that it was 38% focused on impeachment, 16% were focused on his administration. So I don't do math very well, Rick, but that is over 50% focused on Trump. Yeah. So and then 29 non-impeachment tweets about Trump were anti-Trump. And only 10 were neutral. So there you go. And he goes on to give some examples about Mac factories, a Mac factory closing, whereas in contrast to that 54%, the Democratic debate only drew 17 tweets, which, and they co-sponsored the debate. That's why it's also important to mention as well.
Well, I think the fact that only 17 of the tweets were about the debate also should tell you something. Number one, no one cares about the Democrat debates anymore, and not a whole lot of people are watching them either. Yeah, so it's
right. Right. We see that as well. We provide our content, a war room, and we often get some big hits, but very quickly after a debate, people have tuned out, so to speak, that they're done because they're just probably really disgusted with what they see on the debate stage. Not only from the candidates, but also how the moderators, for the most part, are so soft on all of the candidates as well, which we obviously didn't see in 2016. You just think about CNBC and their horrendous debate performance, where it just kind of became a cage match with all the candidates putting down their differences and tag teaming to go after CNBC because they were so awful.
Hey, Curtis, what about people retweeting these tweets coming out of the Washington Post? Were they being retweeted by the consumer of these? Do you have any sense of that?
So Tim did not look into that, but the Washington Post Twitter account has a really high Twitter account following with millions of people. Right. So, a lot of these tweets are going to get a good amount of traffic, just like looking at their Twitter page that I have, just looking at a sampling, number of retweets, 31, 9, 59, 16, 31. And for 14.5 million Twitter followers, at minimum, even if they're not interacting with it, the key to understand is people are seeing it on their timelines on Twitter, so they're being
Right.
influenced by that. They see the headlines, and if you're someone who isn't aware about the slants that the Washington Post is coming at you with, Dan, well, you could be influenced by
Well,
that, without
Curtis,
even having to retweet it or like it.
Curtis, I don't know how many followers the Washington Post has, but if this is getting only double-digit retweets, I would say that the people don't care either.
Right. I mean, that's only one indicator, right? They have 14.5 million Twitter followers, and a tweet talking about them mocking the or that was mocked was the Washington Post, not being sure why the president tweeted a photo of himself or tweeted a photo of Rocky Balboa with his face replacing Sylvester Stallone. That drew thousands of retweets, mostly out of mockery, not because I would say that people are agreeing with the Washington Post being upset about it. They understand the fact that the president is trolling people and he's making a joke. But I would say that it still matters because even if people don't like or retweet a tweet, they're going to see it on their timelines. So that's something that's still worth considering because they have such a huge Twitter presence at 14.5 million people.
All right. Curtis Houck, Media Research Center. We want to thank you for joining us, especially on the Thanksgiving holiday, Curtis. Please tell our audience how they could follow your work and the work of the Media Research Center.
Right. Newsbusters.org. I'm at Curtis Houck on Twitter.
All right. Curtis, again, thank you for joining us. Take care. God bless. And have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thanks, guys.
And this is the Conservative Commandos radio show with Sharron Engel and yours truly, Rick Trader. Don't go away. We'll be back with our next guest right after this break.
Have you been leasing a property for your business or renting storage space? Are you tired of paying rent year after year? Call the experts at General Steel to own a building at up to 30% off now.
I'd been renting a building and paying someone else's mortgage, but General Steel showed me how I could own a space tailored to the needs of my business and for less than renting.
Call General Steel now at the number on your screen for our current building specials and to price your metal building system today.
My building's the dream I've had since finishing my house 14 years ago. I've been using it for a garage, workshop, and storage area for my tools and equipment, and I can't believe how great it turned out.
The economy is improving and the price of steel is expected to rise. Stop waiting. It could cost you thousands. Call General Steel now to see how you can own for less than you thought. Stop waiting to start your business or expand your operation. Call General Steel now.
Call 877-484-7002.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 888-431-0562. That's 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a new car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business, according to The Secret War, a shocking new research report. I just read it. And folks, I was amazed to learn why banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get The Secret War free. Just call the number on the screen, no charge, from the folks at Swiss America, and get this. Did you know simply spending cash today may be enough to have you branded as a potential criminal? That's right. The new war on cash is really a war against all freedom-loving Americans. The secret war is yours free, so call the number on the screen and you can tell them Pat Boone gave you the number.
AM/FM 24/7 Roku channel broadcasts all of our shows on demand. To ensure reliability, we store and stream our content on the same servers as Netflix and Amazon. Our Roku channel is free to use, and anyone owning one of the more than 10 million Roku devices can watch our channel at no cost whatsoever. If you have a television show or are thinking about producing a show, you can be a part of AM/FM 24/7's Roku channel. Watch our great shows on your Roku device. It's free and more reliable than cable TV. Are you stuck with a timeshare? Did you attend the presentation and were seduced and enticed into buying that great vacation and investment? Now you're in the terrible position of trying to figure out a way to get out of that mess. You're not alone. For over 15 years, BuyYourTimeshare.com has been helping people like yourself get out of timeshare ownership. The fact is, there is no resale market. Unscrupulous telemarketers call you and say they have buyers waiting, and the next thing that happens is you give them hundreds of dollars for an ad, and you'll never hear from them again. Another fact is that an identical timeshare to yours is being offered on eBay for $1, and no one is buying it. If you want out of your timeshare, I urge you to go to BuyYourTimeshare.com or call them at 877-94-HELP-ME. That number again is 877-94-HELP-ME. BuyYourTimeshare.com. That's BuyYourTimeshare.com. 877-94-HELP-ME.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Here's why. Dish has the nation's lowest TV price, along with an award-winning DVR that can skip commercials, record 8 shows at once, and get access to thousands of movies at your fingertips. Cable simply can't even compare. So the smart choice is to cut the cable and get Dish. Plus, you get all these great TV features, free HD DVR upgrade, free installation, and free movie channels. Say goodbye to cable and get more with Dish TV. 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. As an added bonus, you can switch to Dish now and receive a $50 Visa gift card. So call now and get Dish TV. Call 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. That's 877-290-7764. Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, monthly equipment fees, and other restrictions apply. Promotion can change at any time.
And welcome back. Welcome back to the Conservative Commandos radio show with Sharron Engel and yours truly, Rick Drader, coming to you from the studios of the Conservative Commandos radio network. Please check out our website, CCRShow.com. That's CCRShow.com. Like us, friend us, and follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. And Sharron, obviously, our next guest is with us. Please make him feel welcome.
Well, it's an honor and a pleasure, a privilege to introduce Chuck Kirkpatrick, who is the founder and CEO of TrumpVote.online, an online advisory ballot technology platform designed to give conservatives a voice in the governance process. Chuck is a proud Navy veteran and has been a successful business executive and owner for nearly 40 years. He's been involved in the political environment for decades and served as the Fort Lauderdale campaign office manager for 2016 Donald Trump for President campaign. His business success has been profiled in dozens of industry magazines and news articles and was featured in Georgia Trend magazine and on NBC's Today in Georgia. Chuck, welcome to the Conservative Commandos radio show.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very proud to be here.
Well, first of all, I think we ought to go into a little detail about your organization that you're the founder and CEO of, TrumpVote.online. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, very good. Well, our concept, we started researching the concept of true civic engagement, about 9 years ago. We felt like that, in the past years, our politicians have every technology method possible to reach out and contact us and solicit money and donations and volunteers, et cetera. They can text you, they can email you, they can call you, they can even walk up to your front door with a geo location, et cetera. but they expect their constituents to call and leave a message, with an intern, and that simply, doesn't work. And so we started researching what makes the best civic engagement platform. After 9 years, we feel like that we finally developed that. And our system provides a technology method for constituents, conservative constituents, to let their legislators know their support or opposition to major public policies, the same policies that affects their lives and the same policies that Congress votes on. In fact, there's been several polls over the past 5 or 6 years that shows nearly 2/3 of voters feels like some sort of national referendum system in which citizens can weigh in on those policies. They feel like that would make government work best, and we feel it will also. We went a big step further in our platform, though, and it's called advisory initiative technology. And now when a member subscribes to our platform, we verify that they are more likely than not a U.S. citizen. We verify registered voter status. We verify party affiliation. We verify residence, congressional district, and we also, very uniquely, we can verify whether you're actually a conservative or not. And in fact, with our validation process, casting ballots in our system is more credible than voting in a federal election.
Well, speaking about voting in federal elections, even voting on local elections, we're a democratic republic. We're not a true democracy. And it was interesting that you mentioned that Democrat debate stage, on this debate stage, Tom Steyer says that he trusts the American people to fix the problems with our government. He will provide them a national referendum system in which citizens make the laws. Doesn't that fly in the face of our Constitution?
Yeah, absolutely. And over the years, as we've developed our technology, I've had people ask me, well, isn't your platform just some type of mob rule? And no, it's not. I don't support a mob rule, and our founders didn't support a mob rule. Our system simply replaces the ineffective methods of constituent communication with today's state-of-the-art technology. So it's certainly not a mob rule. That doesn't work well, and I don't think that's going to work well with Tom Steyer either.
So you are for conservatives' use. Does that mean that if I'm a Democrat, I don't use your system, or can I use your system as well?
Yeah, let me explain where we went with that. When I first started researching for this project, with the vision of the project, our actual vision was a bipartisan system in which members from any party can join and participate in the governance process. However, 2016 changed that. We had Democrats saying that I don't want anything to do with it if Republicans are in it. We had Republicans saying I don't want anything to do with it if we've got Democrats in it. So as we all know, the country has been divided into warring tribes of liberals and conservatives. And so I was faced with with a situation to make a decision. Bipartisan is something that we read about in the dictionary now. I don't think I'll ever see that term really come back in my lifetime. And so being a conservative myself, working for the Trump campaign, which I was so honored to do, that I chose to rebrand our system from the TrumpVote.online, a bipartisan platform, to TrumpVote.online, which is strictly for conservatives only.
And would you revive the peoplesonlinevote.com if we could get back to some semblance of civility between the parties again? I like you said, it's been amazing the conflict that has been stirred up since 2016, but that isn't the norm for our country.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It absolutely is not. And I was very disappointed because we were looking forward to that unity of registered voters where we didn't care about your party affiliation. You're for registered voter. You have a right for your as a constituent for your legislator to listen to you. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But yes, I still own the domain, ThePeoplesVote.com, and that is the future. I hope is that once we get past this Trump derangement syndrome, I'm hoping that, and you know I'm right, and once we get past that, and that we can get some civility back and political tolerance between the two parties, I would love to put it into the peoplesvote.com where everybody can participate in it.
Well, I know that when we talk about these things, the civility in our party, we know that there's a bunch of Democrats that are just getting completely fed up. They thought they were Democrats, but more and more they're thinking, nope, that party does not represent me. Do you have a way for them to find the representative, go ahead and participate in government, and kiss the Democrats goodbye without changing their registration?
You know, and that's a very good question. And we had to take a look at that because our data company that we work with is seeing a lot of Democrats changing their registration, to Republican or Independent. And it's the walkaway movement that's done that. So we had to kind of go back to the development drawing board and develop a classification of walkaway so that we could determine those that have truly left the Democratic Party, who are now Republicans and working on Republicans' behalf. But we certainly understand that, and we have a mechanism now where we can handle that.
Great. Well, we have to go to a break now. We've been talking with our guest about his new online platform that allows us to participate more fully in the democratic republic system of our Constitution. Chuck Kirkpatrick, who is the founder and CEO of TrumpVote.online. And we are coming to you from the Conservative Commandos Radio Network studios and around the world on the internet with TalkStream Live, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, American Political Radio, Leading Edge Radio Network, and AM/FM 24/7. And now you can watch us on the AUN TV network in Northern California. I'm Sharron Engel. I'm here with my co-host, Rick Trader, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Have you been leasing a property for your business or renting storage space? Are you tired of paying rent year after year? Call the experts at General Steel to own a building at up to 30% off now.
I'd been renting a building and paying someone else's mortgage, but General Steel showed me how I could own a space tailored to the needs of my business and for less than renting.
Call General Steel now at the number on your screen for our current building specials and to price your metal building system today.
My building's the dream I've had since finishing my house 14 years ago. I've been using it for a garage, workshop, and storage area for my tools and equipment, and I can't believe how great it turned out.
The economy is improving and the price of steel is expected to rise. Stop waiting. It could cost you thousands. Call General Steel now to see how you can own for less than you thought. Stop waiting to start your business or expand your operation. Call General Steel now.
Call 877-484-7002.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 888-431-0562. That's 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a new car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business, according to The Secret War, a shocking new research report. I just read it. And folks, I was amazed to learn why banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get The Secret War free. Just call the number on the screen, no charge, from the folks at Swiss America. And get this, did you know simply spending cash today may be enough to have you branded as a potential criminal? That's right. The new war on cash is really a war against all freedom-loving Americans. The Secret War is yours free, so call the number on the screen and you can tell them Pat Boone gave you the number.
And once again, we want to welcome you back to the Conservative Commandos radio show. I'm Rick Trader. My co-host is Sharron Angle. Yes, that's Sharron Angle. And our guest is Chuck Kirkpatrick. He's the founder and CEO of TrumpVote.online.com. Chuck, thank you for holding through that break. We really do appreciate your time.
Thank you.
TrumpVote.online is a political technology platform developed by Chuck's company, Poltech Solutions, LLC. They're based in Florida. And Chuck, who are you marketing this new system to? Who is a potential customer for your system?
Our customers are registered voters that are conservatives, Republicans, or independents, and we can now process those walkaway Democrats, and the more the merrier.
Mm-hmm. And what about for people who are running for office? Is this, I take it as a software, is this software something that would be a tool for them?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great question, too. I'm glad you asked that. One of the main features of our system, or the core features, is not just that our voters can vote on policies, et cetera, and they're validated, but the data that we have. Our system has a built-in report generator that, as a member, you can utilize 15 different demographics and pull various reports and break down how how a particular policy question is trending. In fact, if you wanted to know, for instance, a specific policy issue, what voters in Miami-Dade County that are married with a college degree, how they are trending in that, you have the ability to slice and dice that data. And as you know, that's something you absolutely cannot do with poll data or survey data or petition data. So, and to give you an example, take military and law enforcement. They really don't have freedom of speech like we do. They can't speak out against our leaders and et cetera. So they don't have the same freedom of speech. In our system, they do. We could actually pull a specific report that shows only veterans or active duty military or law enforcement or retired military. So I say that our system allows them to speak out, but in confidence, and I think that's very important.
Chuck, a lot of voters are concerned about a couple of things that years ago you wouldn't even question. Number one, did somebody vote in my place? And two, did my vote count? Did somebody count my vote? Does your technology of Trump Votes have any tools that would help this?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're pleased to announce that just this year, we finished development of that technology. It's called an election participation audit. And as far as I know, we are the only technology platform that has that. But with 117,000 polling locations, nearly 1 million volunteers working, and over 3,000 counties, it is actually impossible to totally prevent voter fraud. It just is. So we went at it from a different direction in that, well, if we can't totally prevent it, how do we detect it as quickly as possible? And so that's where we focused on. So in our system, when you join and register in our system, we connect you with your certified voter data from nearly every state in the country, and we show you your 2016 data as an example. So if you voted in a general or election general or primary, our system will display whether your vote was actually counted. We track, we call it votes cast, not counted. And so that's what we look for. In 2020, we'll be able to tell you nearly in real time. If you voted today, we're going to be able to tell you tomorrow whether that vote was counted or not. If you send in your absentee ballot, for instance, our system will be able to automatically tell you when that ballot was received by the county and when it was processed, or if it was not.
Wow. I mean, I don't want you to give in and give away your trade secrets here, Chuck, but how do you do that? I mean, how is that possible?
That cost us a lot of time and a lot of money and algorithms and developers and working with data companies in order to figure out how to do that. But we have done that. We've proved it over and over and over again. And where that particular technology is going to be valuable in 2020 is that we will be able to tell, because we can track every county, we will be able to tell if a specific county has a higher than average degree of votes cast not counted. You know, the average loss, errors in votes, is about 1.5% from what my research showed. So, for instance, if you had a county that was showing 3, 4, 5, or 6%, we know that there's a problem in that county somewhere. And we have the only system that's going to be able to do that.
Chuck, election night 2016, right around midnight, things were looking good for Donald Trump, in particular the state of Pennsylvania. And it was pretty obvious at that point at midnight that Pennsylvania could swing the election for Donald Trump. Now, at midnight, he had about a 40,000 vote lead in Pennsylvania.
I remember that very well.
With about 90% of the vote in. So me, being very curious, wondering where the 90% of vote in or not in was, that 10% that was still out, I went online. I was able to find the Pennsylvania election results. At that time, they showed Pittsburgh was in, Allegheny County was in, Philadelphia was in, all the surrounding counties were in. Around Philadelphia, there was one county in northeast Pennsylvania, Pike County, which didn't have a single vote tallied. I got on the phone at 12:15. I called their Board of Elections. Believe it or not, I found somebody there.
Wow.
I asked them why none of their vote was in yet. They said, well, we're waiting on one municipality. Okay. And I said, well, how far, as of now, how's it looking? And they said Trump had about an 8,000 vote lead. Now, with that information, I was able to find out how this county voted in 2012 when Mitt Romney won the county, won Pike County by 6,000 votes. At that point, I could have predicted, I could have called the election with that information. Having that information, I could have called Pennsylvania for Donald Trump. It took the networks 3 more hours to do so. With your system, with Trump votes, could I have gotten that information from you?
You know, we have thought about that a lot. You know, we hate to really get involved in the actual election process.
Right.
Although we're kind of on the fringe, but we want to be able to, in 2020, to track all of the ballots. Now, the caveat to that is that it's not a public thing that you can do. It requires that voters join our platform, register in our platform, subscribe to our platform so that we can validate where they're at, they're a registered voter in a congressional district, county, etc. And then we're able to connect the voter itself to their certified election data, and they can see that data through our platform. So in order to do what we want to do in 2020, we have to grow. Our platform has to grow. We just opened or launched our phase one, part of the program in the mid part of June. We went through June and July and the 1st of August in developing and fixing some glitches and just improving our platform. But now, you know, we've hit the ground running. Our system has been tested. It's proven, and we're ready for members.
Chuck, I only have about another minute or so, and I got to get this question in. Okay. I'm sure it will be of great interest to Sharron Angle. What about illegal voters?
Well, you can't get in our system. Our algorithms, let me tell you, we've spent a lot of time on it. We've had unregistered voters try to infiltrate our system. We've had hardcore Democrats try and infiltrate our system.
Can you keep unregistered or illegal voters from voting?
Can we keep them from voting?
Can your system help to prevent the illegal vote from illegal people who are not registered or illegals from voting?
Unfortunately, we can't, because illegals voting is done at the polling locations. They're the only ones that can control whether they're going to look the other way or allow an illegal vote, etc. But there's going to be over 1 million volunteer workers in 2020, and there's 117,000 polling locations. And you know, the poll watchers, I don't know how familiar you are with that, but I worked with the election day operations in the war room during 2018, and I tell you, they have their hands full. The polling supervisors in those locations can throw a poll watcher out of their property for really no reason whatsoever. Right. So it's up to those polling supervisors whether they're going to abide by the law. Right. You know, U.S. citizens should be voting only.
That's right. Chuck Kirkpatrick, founder and CEO of TrumpVote.online. Chuck, please tell our audience how they could find out more information about TrumpVote.online.
Thank you very much. If you would go to www.TrumpVote.online. That's TrumpVote.online. Look at our website. We've got some great videos that shows you the platform, etc. And then subscribe to our platform, and let's get ready to find those votes cast not counted in 2020. We're going to need it.
Chuck Kirkpatrick, Chuck Kirkpatrick. I called you Kilpatrick earlier, but it's Chuck Kirkpatrick. We want to thank you so much for joining us here on the Conservative Commandos radio show. Take care, God bless, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you. And Sharron, please call me and let's talk some more.
All right. And this is the Conservative Commandos radio show with Sharron Angle and yours truly, Rick Trader, coming to you from the studios of the Conservative Commandos radio network. On the other side, we're going to be joined by Ann E.W. Stone. And we're going to be talking with Ann about how to talk to a liberal at the Thanksgiving table. And if the name Stone sounds familiar to you, yes, she was at one time married to Roger Stone. We're going to ask Ann about Roger and what his options are moving forward. So don't go away. We will be right back.
Have you been leasing a property for your business or renting storage space? Are you tired of paying rent year after year? Call the experts at General Steel to own a building at up to 30% off now.
I'd been renting a building and paying someone else's mortgage, but General Steel showed me how I could own a space tailored to the needs of my business and for less than renting.
Call General Steel now at the number on your screen for our current building specials and to price your metal building system today.
My building's the dream I've had since finishing my house 14 years ago. I've been using it for a garage, workshop, and storage area for my tools and equipment, and I can't believe how great it turned out.
The economy is improving, and the price of steel is expected to rise. Stop waiting. It could cost you thousands. Call General Steel now to see how you can own for less than you thought. Stop waiting to start your business or expand your operation. Call General Steel now.
Call 877-484-7002.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 888-431-0562. That's 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a new car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business, according to The Secret War, a shocking new research report. I just read it. And folks, I was amazed to learn why banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get The Secret War free. Just call the number on the screen, no charge, from the folks at Swiss America, and get this. Did you know simply spending cash today may be enough to have you branded as a potential criminal? That's right. The new war on cash is really a war against all freedom-loving Americans. The Secret War is yours free, so call the number on the screen and you can tell them Pat Boone gave you the number.
AM/FM 24/7 Roku channel broadcasts all of our shows on demand. To ensure reliability, we store and stream our content on the same servers as Netflix and Amazon. Our Roku channel is free to use, and anyone owning one of the more than 10 million Roku devices can watch our channel at no cost whatsoever. If you have a television show or are thinking about producing a show, you can be a part of AM/FM 24/7's Roku channel. Watch our great shows on your Roku device. It's free and more reliable than cable TV. Are you stuck with a timeshare? Did you attend the presentation and were seduced and enticed into buying that great vacation and investment? Now you're in the terrible position of trying to figure out a way to get out of that mess. You're not alone. For over 15 years, BuyYourTimeshare.com has been helping people like yourself get out of timeshare ownership. The fact is, there is no resale market. Unscrupulous telemarketers call you and say they have buyers waiting, and the next thing that happens is you give them hundreds of dollars for an ad, and you'll never hear from them again. Another fact is that an identical timeshare to yours is being offered on eBay for $1, and no one is buying it. If you want out of your timeshare, I urge you to go to BuyYourTimeshare.com or call them at 877-94-HELP-ME. That number again is 877-94-HELP-ME. BuyYourTimeshare.com. That's BuyYourTimeshare.com. 877-94-HELP-ME.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Here's why. Dish has the nation's lowest TV price, along with an award-winning DVR that can skip commercials, record 8 shows at once, and get access to thousands of movies at your fingertips. Cable simply can't even compare. So the smart choice is to cut the cable and get Dish. Plus, you get all these great TV features, free HD DVR upgrade, free installation, and free movie channels. Say goodbye to cable and get more with Dish TV. 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. As an added bonus, you can switch to Dish now and receive a $50 Visa gift card. So call now and get Dish TV. Call 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. That's 877-290-7764. Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, monthly equipment fees, and other restrictions apply. Promotion can change at any time.
And once again, we want to welcome you back. This is the Conservative Commandos radio show. My co-host today is Sharron Engel, and I am Rick Trader. Want to give a shout out once again to folks who are listening to us on radio stations in Jacksonville, Tampa, and the Villages, Florida, Las Vegas and Reno, Macon, Georgia, Lancaster and Pittsburgh, Boulder and Colorado Springs, Milwaukee, Long Beach, California, Arlington, Virginia, and Washington, D.C., as well as seen on the AUN television network in San Francisco, San Jose, Sacramento, Wine Country, Silicon Valley, Redding, Chico, and Marin County. Our guest this segment is a very good Facebook friend of mine. I always love what she posts up on Facebook. Annie W. Stone has been active in politics since the age of 12. Ann has worked in over 500 campaigns as everything from a precinct worker to a campaign manager. Most of her work has been in political organizing, public advocacy, communication strategy, and fundraising. And in 1992, she was chosen as one of the women who changed politics in America by Campaigns and Election magazine. In 2012, she was named one of the 21 leaders for the 21st century by Women's E-News. And Anna has appeared in numerous television programs ranging from Good Morning America, The Today Show, Tonight, Larry King, PBS NewsHour, To the Contrary, a variety of shows on CNN, shows like Comedy Central, MTV, Politically Correct, and she's a frequent guest on NPR radio. And welcome back to the Conservative Commandos radio show.
Thanks for having me, Rick.
It's our honor and our pleasure. And we thought this would be a great time, a great occasion, being at the Thanksgiving holiday, for you to join us, you being an authority on politics and communication. And I have a big problem, and that's trying to communicate with liberals. I can't imagine trying to communicate with a liberal over Thanksgiving dinner without having stuffing dumped all over me. And how do we talk to a liberal, especially during Thanksgiving?
Well, I'll tell you, if you start at a point where you can identify what will make them uncomfortable in what they know. And one of the things I do when I talk to liberal friends, and I've had them who've come to stay with my home, I've had them obviously for lunch and dinner, and they'll say, oh, we can't talk about this stuff at all, blah, 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 And so I just stay quiet, and then usually they come back and go, you seem very bright. You don't seem crazy. How can you support the man? I don't understand. So
the man being who? Let's name the man.
Trump. Donald Trump. And the point I make to them is I can understand why they feel the way they do based on the information they have received. Mm-hmm. And I said, I like to point out to people that in this country there are two universes of information. There's the universe of information of regular people who, read the New York Times, Washington Post, their local liberal, large urban newspaper, or they watch regular mainstream TV. They're going to have a certain set of facts and a certain amount of information that they've been given. Some has been misleading, some outright lies, but more than anything, a lot is omitted. So there's a lot of stuff they never hear. Mm-hmm. And that's actually the place you start. Then there's the rest of us that we may dabble in the mainstream media, but we also, watch Fox, and we read the Wall Street Journal, and we read a variety of conservative organizations, newsletters, and from that, we get a much more full picture. Now, I have an advantage, too, because I go to high-level meetings in Washington. I receive information you don't even get, through those sources, so it gives me an even added advantage. So I start there and say, listen, based on what you read and see, I can understand it. And then I start throwing things out. one of the fun things is to ask them, I'll say the liberals say Trump's a bad negotiator. Tell me how many hostages he's gotten freed versus Barack Obama. And they'll say, what do you mean? I said, well, how many hostages did Barack Obama get freed in 8 years? And they don't know. And I say, okay, he got 4, all from Iran, and he paid $140 million to get them. And I said, then he also got a deserter freed, and he traded 5 terrorists for that. So now look at Trump in 3 years, with the 2 that he just got freed or are being freed, he's about 23 or 24 hostages he's gotten freed in 3 years from multiple countries. And do you know how much he's paid? 0. And they look at you and they go, what? I said, yeah, so who's the better negotiator? If that doesn't convince them, then I say, tell me what Crossfire Hurricane is. I said, what are you talking about? I said, tell me what Operation Crossfire Hurricane is. And, of course, they have no clue because the sources that they have never talk about it. I said, well, that's the code name for John Brennan's operation that he ran, starting maybe as far back as 2015, that he ran with all the political operatives in the intelligence community plus other bureaucrats that were Democrat-leaning. And they had a systematic process for finding ways to either spy on Republicans, not just Trump, but to also set up a process to undermine him as he became the clear nominee and afterward, all the way up through his election and continued into his presidency. And they said, oh, what are you talking about? I said, well, you don't think it was an operation? They gave it a name. I mean, that's their name, not ours. Well, how come we don't know about that? And I said, because what you read and what you watch. And I said, you can actually Google Crossfire Hurricane. Even on Google, they'll give you some of the information. But I said, that's the thing that John Durham and Bill Barr are working on, is to uncover the full extent of what that operation was and how it was used to subvert the country. And it went all the way up to Obama, because Peter Strzok, in his text messages, made it clear that Obama was being kept briefed all along. And they look at you with horror and shock, and they say, why don't we know about this? And I said, it's because of where you get your information. And I said, they're not lying to you. They're just not telling you. And if it's referenced at all, they claim it's a right-wing fantasy. Well, Attorney General Barr doesn't think it's a fantasy, and John Durham, who's a very well-respected, nonpartisan investigator, who's the guy who busted Whitey Bulger and that whole, criminal enterprise, he didn't think it was a right-wing fantasy, and that's what's coming after the IG report. And that opens their mind, because they're like, they finally realized they've been lied to. I said, why do you think we were confident that the president wasn't guilty with Mueller? And why do you think we were not surprised by the results of the Mueller report, and you guys were? It's because your sources of information are either discoloring and distorting what you're told, or they're just not telling you. And anything that's exculpatory, anything that is favorable to Trump, they just leave it out. And it's like,
and what about the economy? How would you talk to a liberal about the Trump economy?
That's very important, because, as you know, Barack Obama is trying to take credit, and he says, good economy, just say thank you, Donald Trump. Like he acts like he had anything to do with it. The Joint Economic Committee in Congress said, and they have the charts and graphs to prove it, Obama's recovery from the crash in 2008 was the worst recovery ever in U.S. history, worse than the Great Depression. And so I talk about the fact when, by the time Trump came to office, the economy had stagnated. Businesses weren't expanding because they were terrified of all the Obama regulations. And I said, look at how it took off afterwards. And because Trump immediately knew to roll back certain regulations that were keeping businesses from expanding. And because the business community now felt comfortable that they could expand, and banks felt comfortable that they could lend, that helped unleash the economy. What Trump had to fight, not only the prejudices of the media, but the Federal Reserve, who then decided, we better slow this down, and they started raising interest rates, which is a big part of what contributed to the deficit. People don't understand that how many billion, it's like over $500 billion of the deficit each year is due to interest on the debt that Obama didn't have to pay because his interest rates were at zero. So that's a big part of it. So you talk about that, and you talk about how the rollback of regulation was key in creating confidence again with the business sector that this guy wasn't going to come in and hammer them and was going to be friendly towards business and understood what they were going through. And the president has not only reached incredible job creation, but the boom in wages. It's middle class and working class wages that are increasing, not the white collar, not the high level people. It is a boom for truly the forgotten man and woman that Trump has delivered, which is just wonderful.
And how do you handle people when they say things to you, but yes, he's a racist, or yes, he's a sexist, or look how he's abusing women?
That's easy. I actually have, if people want to write in and want me to send the information, I've got tons of links I can send people and all that. Donald Trump used to get awards from Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and different black groups because of all the incredible stuff he did for black organizations, the money he gave and all that before he became a Republican and ran for president. Also, all of the times he's been attacked for being a racist because he didn't answer the question fast enough when they said, do you denounce David Duke? Well, he'd already denounced David Duke like 5 or 6 times before that. And because he was slow to say, then it became, he must be a racist. He must want his support. And Charlottesville, when he said, there are good people on both sides, he wasn't talking about the neo-Nazis on the pro-statue side. He was talking about the people that were down there that honored the history of the statues, not the racists that were against or for the statues. So totally out of context, he's had to learn to choose his words more carefully. He still flubs it every once in a while. And he's also hopefully going to learn he can't tell jokes. The media and the left have no sense of humor. And when he tells jokes on different occasions, like the time he said to Russia, if you have Hillary's emails, please send them to us. And he's encouraging them to go after Hillary's emails. Oh, you idiots. He was telling a joke. So that's another problem, too. Oh, there's one other thing on the jobs I didn't mention. Sure. Do you remember Barack Obama said that we'd never have growth over 2% again?
Oh, he said a lot of things like you'll never drill your way back to $2.50 gas. I got gas not too long ago for about $2.13 down in Delaware. So there were a lot of things Barack Obama was incorrect about.
He also said we'd never bring back manufacturing jobs. Remember, he said to Trump, what do you have, a magic wand? You think you're going to bring these? Well, we are. And that, again, just proves again it was not Barack Obama's economy. It's definitely Trump's. The other reason Barack couldn't do this is not because he was a stupid man, per se. He just didn't know what he didn't know. And he had fewer people in his administration. This is an important point. He had fewer people in his administration who had ever held a private sector job, let alone created one. Let that sink in. He had fewer people who had even held a private sector job, let alone created one.
Hey, and we have to, sorry to interrupt, but we have to take a quick break, do a little business, and we'll be asking you if you could just hold on for just a few moments for it, please. And this is the Conservative Commandos radio show. I'm Rick Trader. My co-host today is Sharron Angle. And joining us is Ann E.W. Stone. She's been a political activist from the age of 12. She's really wired into what is going on in Washington. And if the name Stone sounds familiar to you, Ann is actually the ex-wife of Roger Stone. And you got to figure a man's not too bad of a guy if after being accused, arrested, and convicted, his ex-wife actually comes to his defense. And maybe we can get Ann to talk a little bit about Roger and his predicament after this break. But you are listening and watching the Conservative Commandos radio show with Sharron Angle and yours truly, Rick Trader. Don't go away. We'll be right back right after these messages.
AM/FM 24/7 Roku channel broadcasts all of our shows on demand. To ensure reliability, we store and stream our content on the same servers as Netflix and Amazon. Our Roku channel is free to use, and anyone owning one of the more than 10 million Roku devices can watch our channel at no cost whatsoever. If you have a television show or are thinking about producing a show, you can be a part of AM/FM 24/7's Roku channel. Watch our great shows on your Roku device. It's free and more reliable than cable TV. Are you stuck with a timeshare? Did you attend the presentation and were seduced and enticed into buying that great vacation and investment? Now you're in the terrible position of trying to figure out a way to get out of that mess. You're not alone. For over 15 years, BuyYourTimeshare.com has been helping people like yourself get out of timeshare ownership. The fact is there is no resale market. Unscrupulous telemarketers call you and say they have buyers waiting, and the next thing that happens is you give them hundreds of dollars for an ad, and you'll never hear from them again. Another fact is that an identical timeshare to yours is being offered on eBay for $1, and no one is buying it. If you want out of your timeshare, I urge you to go to BuyYourTimeshare.com or call them at 877-94-HELP-ME. That number again is 877-94-HELP-ME. BuyYourTimeshare.com. That's BuyYourTimeshare.com. 877-94-HELP-ME.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Here's why. Dish has the nation's lowest TV price, along with an award-winning DVR that can skip commercials, record 8 shows at once, and get access to thousands of movies at your fingertips. Cable simply can't even compare. So the smart choice is to cut the cable and get Dish. Plus, you get all these great TV features, free HD DVR upgrade, free installation, and free movie channels. Say goodbye to cable and get more with Dish TV. 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. As an added bonus, you can switch to Dish now and receive a $50 Visa gift card. So call now and get Dish TV. Call 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. That's 877-290-7764. Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, monthly equipment fees, and other restrictions apply. Promotion can change at any time.
Once again, we want to welcome you back. This is the Conservative Commandos radio show with Sharron Angle and yours truly, Rick Trader. And for rebroadcast, check out our website, CCRShow.com. That's CCRShow.com. Also, like us, friend us, and follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. Our guest this segment is Ann E.W. Stone. She's a political activist. She's been involved in political campaigns since the age of 12. She's worked on over 500 campaigns. She's very wired into what's going on in Washington, D.C. And if the name Stone sounds familiar to you, Ann is the ex-wife of Roger Stone. And Ann, we want to thank you for holding through that break. And I wanted to talk with you a little bit about Roger. As I said in closing the first subject, or the first segment with you, Roger can't be an all that bad guy if his ex-wife is coming to his defense. You have been a staunch defender of Roger. Can you talk with us a little bit about the predicament that he is in? He was charged and convicted on 7 counts. And what is your take on the accusations, the charges, and the conviction?
Well, let's put it this way. If he's charged and convicted, Hillary should already be in jail for doing all of the above. James Clapper should be in jail. John Brennan should be in jail. And even the former ambassador Yovanovitch, who during her hearing, committed perjury at least once, if not a couple times, because what he has been convicted of are what are called process crimes, things where they ask him a question, he answers it, and then they say, oh, but we have an email here that says X. Well, the guy's 67 years old, and he didn't remember, but they have his email. He goes, oh, okay, well, if it's in the email, then that must have happened, whatever. So he didn't lie, he just misremembered, but that makes it a lie in their eyes. a few times he got things fuzzy. Then he was accused of witness tampering and witness intimidation. And that was a gentleman by the name of Randy Credico, who's this ultra-liberal DJ, whack job from New York, who's been Roger's friend for years, and the two of them have one of these relationships. They scream and yell at each other. They yell obscenities. They constantly attack and threaten each other all the time. This has been going on for decades.
Well, didn't he even come out and say after the trial that he felt bad?
That he was sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, he was sorry because he's a schmuck, but he's not a total schmuck. And I guess the point is that if the Mueller investigation has never existed, Roger would not be guilty of anything because there is no crime. It is all process. So, it's a pretty bad travesty. And there's a move now to push to get him a pardon. There's some people say, that could not happen until after the election. I don't know if that's the case or not. And he certainly has an appeal open to him, and I think he will pursue that. But Roger,
if he appeals, do you think or do you believe that he would ask for a change of venue? Because it seems to me for him
trial in D.C.
Right.
Yeah, he can't get a fair trial in D.C.
Where 90% or 96% of the voters voted, cast a vote for Hillary Clinton, and also the judge. What do you know about the judge? What could you tell us about the judge of the case?
Yeah, Amy Berman Jackson is an Obama appointee. She's very, very liberal. She sat in the court and rolled her eyes half the time when Roger was talking. I mean, she's been all along. The only thing she did was fair about is the prosecutors wanted to put him in jail, and she said no, he should be out on bail because he did follow what she had set out for him. So I'll give her that. I mean, at least she was fair about that. But she clearly is skeptical of him, and not. If it had been just a trial by her, probably the results would have been even worse. But you're right to speak about the jury. You can't get a fair trial if you're a Republican in D.C. It's very hard to get Republicans on the jury to begin with. In this case, they not only had no Republicans, they had no independents, and they didn't even have anybody who had ever served in the military. So, I mean, there was no way there was anybody that was going to be even partially empathetic. They had somebody on who had admitted that that they knew about Roger and had seen the documentary and stuff like that. And there's a documentary, Get Me Roger Stone, and if you watch that, you're going to have a certain attitude about Roger before you walk in the courtroom. So it was clear he could never get a fair trial, so we'd have to go for a change of venue. But Roger is not like Manafort. Manafort had millions. He had millions that he made through all his international stuff, millions he socked away. Roger has had a good career, but modest, and he had some setbacks, and so he doesn't have a lot of cash. So for him to do the appeal, he's going to have to raise money. And if you Google Stone Defense Fund, you can go up and make contributions. I know thousands of people have, and I get contacted all the time with people asking. And the other thing that's going on now is a push to get him a pardon. And there's a White House website where people are going up and signing a petition to pardon Roger Stone.
Well, I think if that happens, it's just my personal belief that if that happens, it won't happen till after the election, and that means he'll be spending several months in prison.
Well, unless the appeal, it depends on how long the appeal process takes.
Well, that's true. Here on the Conservative Commandos radio show, our guest is Ann E.W. Stone. She's a political activist and has participated in over 500 campaigns. But her most noted accomplishment the thing she's most proudest of is she's a Facebook friend of mine, and I say that in jest. And on the other line, I do have my co-host Sharron Engel with me, who's also a veteran of many, many political campaigns. And I know that Sharron has some questions for you. Sharron?
Oh, I sure do. Okay. And before we leave Roger, I just want to say how hard it has been for Republicans to be friends with Trump. They have just made it scorched earth, if you will, to destroy anyone who's even close to him. And it's a sad, sad thing. But we see some Republicans who have not been at all good to Trump, I guess. They're still in that we'll leave him. However, you posted an article and you said that really Republicans won't abandon Trump. Democrats want Americans to care about corruption, and America's answer, you first. So let's talk a little bit about that.
You picked one of my favorites, yes. And that's the case. I mean, Democrats and the media really think we're stupid. And they really think that we can be fooled with all their smoke and mirrors and all their smug and self-righteous attitude, when in fact everything they accuse us of, they're more guilty of. So that's why it's a matter of, you want us to, give up all the luxuries of life in the interest of the carbon footprint? You first. They're hypocrites. I mean, everything they want from us. Mr. Nanny State Michael Bloomberg, somebody asked me, they said, well, you should like Michael Bloomberg. He's pro-choice and, he was a Republican and he did a great job in New York. I said, he's a nanny stater. He wants to tell you how you should live your life. He doesn't necessarily live his life that way, but he wants to tell you, and he wants to take your guns, and he just wants to, control, all of your habits. It's like, leave me alone, buddy. I don't need you sticking your nose in my life. Just go off and spend your money and leave me alone.
Well, and isn't that really the reason that they don't like Trump? Of the Republicans don't like him because he exposes their hypocrisies.
Well, 95% of the Republicans love him. It's the 5% who've been making all their money by being part of the, deep state operation. It's funny because people, when we used to call it deep state 3 years ago, people thought, oh, you people are just nuts to say that. Now they're even admitting that there's this whole shadow operation out there, that you saw it on display during the impeachment hearings of all these diplomats and foreign affairs people who think they run the country and they think they should decide everything, and they're annoyed that the president actually wants to do his constitutional duty and be the person deciding policy. So it's just amazing that there's this unelected bureaucracy out there that thinks they should control everything.
This article says that all this general political nastiness is very self-serving, and I couldn't agree more. But you did mention impeachment, and there's a backfire. Mm-hmm. This is another article that you posted. Impeachment backfire, Democratic anxiety soars over rampant impeachment opposition. Many of us have been expressing our concerns to leadership. So, talk about these Democrat lawmakers that are now getting really, really nervous.
Well, we're only, about 18 or 19 seats away from the majority, and there's 31 seats, or is it less than, maybe 16 seats. There's 31 seats where Trump won by double digits that have vulnerable Democrats. So there, could we pick off 16 Democrats to vote with the Republicans to block impeachment? I think that's a real possibility. But I think if there's any indication that that's going to happen, and you already have Democrats coming out and saying they're uncomfortable going forward with impeachment, that's why now there's this whole buzz, will there be censure instead of impeachment? Because if I were Nancy Pelosi, I'd be looking at the politics. They don't want it to go to the Senate. It goes to the Senate. We have a trial where we can call witnesses and present evidence. We're going to bury them. We will bury them and make them look like the incompetent and corrupt group that they are. So if I were her, I'd be looking at censure as a way out.
Yeah, I'm not sure that she has any ways out. We keep listening to Ocasio-Cortez and the group, the squad, and they seem to be running the show. Poor Nancy is being dragged along behind, it seems like, but we're up against the clock. Go ahead.
That's true, but AOC has actually voiced some doubt about impeachment as well.
Well,
so,
she
again,
should.
They can read the polls. They can read the polls like everybody else.
Yeah, she's one of those 31 that is vulnerable and maybe ruining the day that she ever jumped on this impeach Trump train. We are up against the clock, and we want you to tell our listeners how they can follow you, how they can watch what you're doing, and really stay in touch with your political advantage. How does that happen?
Well, my Facebook page is full right now. I keep it at 5,000. I don't have an open page, but you can follow me on Facebook, even if you can't actually officially be on the page. And it's under Ann E.W. Stone. My Twitter handle is at AEWS, and that's A as in Ann, E as in egg, S as in Sam, and W as in white. So AEWS, did I say that right? No, AEW as in white, S as in Sam. So at AEWS is my Twitter handle. So that's another way you can follow me on Twitter. As well, if they write to you, I'm happy to be in touch with them by email. Rather than give out my email to the general population, I'd rather they take the first step and get in touch with you.
That's okay. I give out my email all the time. It's Rick at conservativecommandosradioshow.com. I know it's long, but it's simple. It's just Rick at conservativecommandosradioshow.com. And we want to thank you so much for joining us. Take care. God bless. And have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
And happy Thanksgiving to you and all your listeners. Thanks.
And you are listening to and watching the Conservative Commandos radio show with Sharron Engel and yours truly, Rick Trader. Don't go away. Sharron and I will be back with more right after this break.
Have you been leasing a property for your business or renting storage space? Are you tired of paying rent year after year? Call the experts at General Steel to own a building at up to 30% off now.
I'd been renting a building and paying someone else's mortgage, but General Steel showed me how I could own a space tailored to the needs of my business and for less than renting.
Call General Steel now at the number on your screen for our current building specials and to price your metal building system today.
My building's the dream I've had since finishing my house 14 years ago. I've been using it for a garage, workshop, and storage area for my tools and equipment, and I can't believe how great it turned out.
The economy is improving, and the price of steel is expected to rise. Stop waiting. It could cost you thousands. Call General Steel now to see how you can own for less than you thought. Stop waiting to start your business or expand your operation. Call General Steel now.
Call 877-484-7002.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 888-431-0562. That's 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a new car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business, according to The Secret War, a shocking new research report. I just read it. And folks, I was amazed to learn why banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get The Secret War free. Just call the number on the screen, no charge, from the folks at Swiss America. And get this, did you know simply spending cash today may be enough to have you branded as a potential criminal? That's right. The new war on cash is really a war against all freedom-loving Americans. The Secret War is yours free, so call the number on the screen and you can tell them Pat Boone gave you the number.
Well, Sharron, that just about wraps it up for today. Sharron, I want to wish you and your family, as well as the families and friends of all our viewers and listeners, a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, I think, is the one holiday every American can participate and feel good about, and we should also feel proud about our country. So again, Sharron, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. But Before we go, please tell our audience how they could follow you and what you're up to when you're not here on Conservative Commandos.
Well, that's easy. SharronAngle.com, SharronAngle.com. I do wish you and Mary and your family a wonderful Thanksgiving as well. And I would like to say thank you. That's what Thanksgiving's all about, is our gratitude. Yep. And we do have gratitude for our guests here on CCRShow.com, Conservative Commandos radio show. Our first guest, Chuck Houck from Newsbusters, gave us a real interesting look at the media. Our second guest, Chuck Kirkpatrick, told us about a new online process we should all be kind of thinking about. Whether our vote counts or not, he can tell you. And finally, Ann E.W. Stone, talking about all the, tying it up in a nice little bow, I guess, all the politics of the day, from impeachment and Trump right down to what's going to happen to Roger Stone and how to talk to your relatives that are liberals on Thanksgiving. So with that, our gratitude goes out to all three of them.
But for right now, we're out of time. We got to run. We got to go. Once again, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll see you tomorrow on TV and on radio.
Have you been leasing a property for your business or renting storage space? Are you tired of paying rent year after year? Call the experts at General Steel to own a building at up to 30% off now.
I'd been renting a building and paying someone else's mortgage, but General Steel showed me how I could own a space tailored to the needs of my business and for less than renting.
Call General Steel now at the number on your screen for our current building specials and to price your metal building system today.
My building's the dream I've had since finishing my house 14 years ago. I've been using it for a garage, workshop, and storage area for my tools and equipment, and I can't believe how great it turned out.
The economy is improving, and the price of steel is expected to rise. Stop waiting. It could cost you thousands. Call General Steel now to see how you can own for less than you thought. Stop waiting to start your business or expand your operation. Call General Steel now.
Call 877-484-7002.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 888-431-0562. That's 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a new car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business, according to The Secret War, a shocking new research report. I just read it. And folks, I was amazed to learn why banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get The Secret War free. Just call the number on the screen, no charge, from the folks at Swiss America. And get this, did you know simply spending cash today may be enough to have you branded as a potential criminal? That's right. The new war on cash is really a war against all freedom-loving Americans. The Secret War is yours free, so call the number on the screen and you can tell them Pat Boone gave you the number.
AM/FM 24/7 Roku channel broadcasts all of our shows on demand. To ensure reliability, we store and stream our content on the same servers as Netflix and Amazon. Our Roku channel is free to use, and anyone owning one of the more than 10 million Roku devices can watch our channel at no cost whatsoever. If you have a television show or are thinking about producing a show, you can be a part of AM/FM 24/7's Roku channel. Watch our great shows on your Roku device. It's free and more reliable than cable TV. Are you stuck with a timeshare? Did you attend the presentation and were seduced and enticed into buying that great vacation and investment? Now you're in the terrible position of trying to figure out a way to get out of that mess. You're not alone. For over 15 years, BuyYourTimeshare.com has been helping people like yourself get out of timeshare ownership. The fact is there is no resale market. Unscrupulous telemarketers call you and say they have buyers waiting, and the next thing that happens is you give them hundreds of dollars for an ad and you'll never hear from them again. Another fact is that an identical timeshare to yours is being offered on eBay for $1 and no one is buying it. If you want out of your timeshare, I urge you to go to BuyYourTimeshare.com or call them at 877-94-HELP-ME. That number again is 877-94-HELP-ME. BuyYourTimeshare.com. That's BuyYourTimeshare.com. 877-94-HELP-ME.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Here's why. Dish has the nation's lowest TV price, along with an award-winning DVR that can skip commercials, record 8 shows at once, and get access to thousands of movies at your fingertips. Cable simply can't even compare. So the smart choice is to cut the cable and get Dish. Plus, you get all these great TV features, free HD DVR upgrade, free installation, and free movie channels. Say goodbye to cable and get more with Dish TV. 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. As an added bonus, you can switch to Dish now and receive a $50 Visa gift card. So call now and get Dish TV. Call 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. That's 877-290-7764. Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, monthly equipment fees, and other restrictions apply. Promotion can change at any time.
Rashid Tlaib joins Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar as members of the squad who are under investigation. Former New York Mayor and former Republican Michael Bloomberg has jumped into the race for President of the United States as a Democrat. And a new poll in a key battleground state has some interesting results for President Trump. All that and more. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour.
And God bless the United States of America.
All right, friends, welcome to the show. I hope you had a great weekend. We're going to get to the squad and Rashida Tlaib. But first, I want to talk about the Democrats, because this field that's running for president on the Democrat side, it's so bizarre because normally as time goes on, the field shrinks. But in this case, every time someone drops out, like a Robert Francis O'Rourke, someone else jumps in. And now, former New York Mayor, former Republican Michael Bloomberg has jumped into the race for president, and he's running as a Democrat. And here's a report from the Washington Examiner. It says Michael Bloomberg has entered the already crowded Democratic presidential field. Bloomberg, 77, had earlier in November filed a statement of candidacy with the Federal Election Commission and has filed to appear on some state Democrat primary ballots that had early deadlines. But aides said at the time that the moves were formalities while deciding on launching a full campaign. So Bloomberg entering the race says a couple things. One, that his ego is just, it knows no limits. He's going to jump in, he's going to spend his money, and he's ready to go. And the other thing it says is that none of the Democrats, the current Democrats, have distinguished himself or herself. There's a message that is either too centrist, like Joe Biden, or who has come up as a centrist, but he gaffes and can't galvanize anybody, or they're so far to the left that they're alienating the middle. So no one has been able to bring them together, which leaves openings, which leaves opportunities for people like Bloomberg to swoop in, dump millions of dollars of his own money, and try and win the nomination. And here's more from the Washington Examiner. Bloomberg reportedly decided to join the presidential field after seeing former Vice President Joe Biden falter in early primary state polls and in fundraising, and is expected to skip the first 4 state nominating contests, Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and South Carolina, and focus on winning delegates in Super Tuesday states holding contests on March 3rd and beyond. Several Democratic presidential candidates have accused Bloomberg of hoping to buy the presidency. Bloomberg released a statement through his website that said in part, We cannot afford 4 more years of President Trump's reckless and unethical action. So if you check out that statement on his website, which I did, it's amazing that this person ever ran as a Republican, because it's the same left-wing talking points that are designed to stir up a base, a constituency, but it's based on false statements, just flat out wrong. And I just wanted to share a few of them with you from his own website. He says, we have an economy that is tilted against most Americans. All right, well, that's just flat out wrong. And we've covered it on the show before. The Trump economy truly is lifting all boats. And in fact, in major economic indicators, the middle class is the group that's doing the best. Middle class wages are up. Unemployment rate is down. Retirement savings is going up for Americans. It is an economy, a Trump economy, that is doing well across the board. So this idea that it's only favoring one group is just flat out wrong. Next, he says, we have communities ravaged by gun violence. Yeah, we do. And it has nothing to do with an AR-15 or some specific weapon that they're trying to take from people to confiscate, to ban, so that they can then just move on to the next one and chip away at the Second Amendment. This is a cultural issue, and it has to do with the degeneration of cities and communities that for decades have lived under Democrat rule. We're talking about Chicago and Baltimore and Oakland and Detroit, major crime areas, all run by Democrats. That's where the gun violence is occurring. That's where the shootings are occurring daily, every day, every weekend in Chicago. There is enough shootings that could make a national story, yet it's never covered. So then Bloomberg adds this one. We have an immigration system that is cruel and dysfunctional. Again, wrong. We have an immigration system that is the most welcoming in the entire world. We have always wanted people to come here that want to contribute to society and become part of the American fabric, to adopt the American culture, to be Americans. We welcome those people here. Now, we also have a big flood of illegal immigration, and it is a big problem because across those borders, in addition to people seeking a better life, we have drug traffickers, we have human smugglers, we have terrorists. We have to secure the border, and none of the Democrats, Bloomberg included, wants to do that. We have to fix our broken legal immigration system as well and have a comprehensive plan that addresses both security and in and out access for people that want to do it the right way. And none of the Democrats want to do that, and this is just more talk. So next, I want to get to the squad, all right? Because they share something in common. And it's not just the stuff we've heard before. All of them have embraced these far left ideas. They want to impose socialism on the American people, destroy economies, destroy jobs, break the bank, flood us with even more debt than we have now. But now they have something else in common, and that's corruption. That's investigation, because all of them, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez early on, Ilhan Omar with paying her, on the side guy extra money from her campaign, they're under investigation for campaign finance violations, and so is Rashida Tlaib. And here's a report from the Daily Caller. The 3 most prolific members of the so-called squad of freshman Democrat congresswomen face allegations of violating campaign finance laws and House ethics rules for their personal or political benefit 10 months into their terms. The 5 members of the Office of Congressional Ethics Board voted unanimously in November to recommend the House Ethics Committee continue its investigation into whether Tlaib improperly diverted campaign funds for her personal use. All right, so I guess Rashida Tlaib felt left out. She just wanted to join in the investigations with AOC and Omar, and here's more. It says, House rules allowed candidates to receive a salary from their campaign up to what they earned the year prior to their campaign. However, they're only allowed to receive such payments until the date of their election. If Representative Tlaib converted campaign funds from Rashida Tlaib for Congress to personal use, or if Representative Tlaib's campaign committee expended funds that were not attributable to bona fide campaign and political purposes, then Representative Tlaib may have violated House rules, standards of conduct, and federal law, OCE said. So what's going on with these people? I mean, they say they represent the people, but they've already, in this short time, showed what most far leftists do, and that is adopt this elitist attitude that they know more, that they know what's right, and they're in charge. And you've seen it with AOC adopting this celebrity mentality, all while trying to impose socialism on us, and the corruption follows. So next, I want to go into some polling because there's some results that came out in a key battleground state, and that's Wisconsin. And the reason Trump was able to win in 2016 is because he was able to win states that no president in decades has been able to win. And in particular, I'm talking about Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. That coalition of states was just magic for President Trump. And you have to go back all the way to the Reagan-Bush era to find a presidential candidate that was able to win those states. Romney couldn't do it. McCain couldn't do it. George W. couldn't do it. Bob Dole couldn't do it. It was back in Bush 41 that won Michigan and Pennsylvania, and then you got to go back to Reagan to get Wisconsin. So the fact that those three went for President Trump is just absolutely amazing, and it's crucial that he win those states again. And here's a report from CNSnews.com. A new poll of Wisconsin voters shows that in the race for president, Donald Trump currently leads against the four top Democrats vying for their party's nomination: Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and Pete Buttigieg. In addition, 53% of registered voters in Wisconsin say Trump should not be impeached, while 40% say he should. So the impeachment numbers, I want to talk about that real quick because they fall in line with what we talked about on the last show. Voters are being turned off. Liz Peek over at Fox News has a great article that was out there today talking about the impeachment mess and how Democrats are getting shaky. Even Adam Schiff, the person who ramrodded this process through the House Intelligence Committee, came out this weekend and said that the evidence against President Trump is ironclad, yet we're still not sure how we're going to proceed or if we're going to proceed. And the reason he says that is because you've got 30-something Democrats in the House right now that represent districts that went for President Trump. Polls are going against impeachment, and they're freaking out. In addition, Republicans are raising money like crazy over impeachment. In October, Republican National Committee raised over $25 million compared to $9 million for the Democrats. 25 to 9. Republicans have $61 million on hand. The Democrats are in debt right now. So it just shows that if the Democrats want to continue, we're going to rake it in. We're going to make money off of this thing. And you've got key members of your caucus who are sweating it out, thinking that if they pursue this, they're going to lose election. So if you think that's a good strategy, Democrats, go for it. So finally, I want to talk about what's going on in Hong Kong. Because as you know, there has been these uprisings, these protests going on all summer long, going on for months. And people are afraid. They are afraid of what China is going to do to take away their freedoms that they have grown up expecting from when they were under British rule. This has always been a kind of autonomous city that, despite communist rule in China, has grown up in a capitalist free market society. And China wants to impose more restrictions, and that's what's led to the protests that have gone on, some of them violent, and they continue. And so there were elections this weekend for government positions within Hong Kong, these districts. And the results were absolutely fascinating because despite all the protests, you still have the media, and we saw this in the NBA, treading lightly with China. So you wonder what's really going on there. Is this pro-democracy sentiment spreading? Or will Beijing maintain its ironclad grip on even the local government that's in Hong Kong? So these elections told a fascinating story, and here's a report from Fox News. Anti-government protesters prevailed on Sunday after polls closed in Hong Kong and pro-democracy candidates clinched nearly half of the seats on the ballot. So far, pro-democracy candidates have won 269 out of 452 seats in 18 district council races, while pro-Beijing forces, who previously held 73% of the seats, have only won 30. Voters came out in droves with 71% turnout, up from 47% 4 years ago in the same elections, according to the Electoral Affairs Commission. All right, so it's incredible. It is absolutely incredible what happened over this weekend and the message it sent not only to Beijing, but to people that support democracy, that support Hong Kong, and that support freedom. And here's more from Fox News. This is a political annihilation for Beijing, and it's going to have consequences that are going to reverberate not just in Hong Kong itself, but perhaps in China as well. Asia analyst and foreign affairs journalist Gordon Chang said to Fox News' American News HQ Sunday. The history-making victory for pro-democracy candidates in the elections marked a win in what has largely been seen as a referendum on the protest movement and China's response to it. So it's incredible, folks. It's incredible what these people have done, not only in the summer protests and leading in the fall, but to mobilize that sentiment and take it to the ballot box and send a message there as well. It is just it's an exciting event for freedom around the world, and I'm just so happy about it. And I wanted to make sure and bring that news because so many of these protests have gone overlooked. The media is not covering what's going on, and these elections are big, big news. So, folks, that's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, and when you do, please hit that bell so you'll be notified, and we'll see you next time. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour. Okay, friends, just a little reminder before you go, and no, this does not count against my 13 minutes. Please hit the subscribe button below and tell your friends. And if you happen to miss our last show, you can check it out right here. And also for great conservative news and commentary, please check out GOPUSA.com. All right, folks, we'll see you on the next show. Have a great day.